Last time on A Dream Called Meraaai, we saw how Markiplier Chris sorted out all our skiff. For my overseas mates, that's crooked as in politician, our skiff doors, as well as our skiff windscreen frame. We also had some sort of movement in the fiberglass department when we finally saw a completed mould emerge after many months of handcrafted labour. This week, Resin Man heeds the call and we get our dashboard. We also get some serious ironwork installed, all in the name of protection, of course. All this and so much more in episode 87 of A Dream Called Meraaai. It is a new day, it is a new week. Last week, Wobble Stages, still in the Wobble Stages. It's just that they're at the business end of this thing. Yeah, and looking for that finishing line. I just had a bit of a chat with Bram. We really are now committed to working towards the end of September. 26th of September 2020 is when we started this build. As far as big layouts financially is concerned, the only thing is labor. Everything else is bought and ready to be installed. I've got everything here. So it's the labor, the windows I put the money aside for. Everything is here. The big puzzle, the pieces are here. We need to start assembling. And I think that's where my frustration is creeping in. But enough of my talking. Let's see what we can bring you this week. In East Coast Scratch and Dent's workshop, and Appy is busy going over some of Meraai's exposed steel frame with a rust-proofing sealant. As work progresses and steel is cut and ground, the epic humidity of the lower south coast of KwaZulu-Natal stands in line with buckets of rust to throw at us. And we cannot have that. Part of that bent rusty steel was our windscreen frame that Markiplier Chris has now lovingly nurtured into a straight, beautiful frame that is almost ready to receive those sexy wraparound glasses. This is the final test fitting for our windscreen. Now Chris can work on the area around the windscreen frame without worrying that things will move out of line. Once that work is done, we can do our final windscreen installation. Inside Meraaai, Smokin' John, our tall chain-smoking skinny guy, is busy installing the dividers and interior backing to our overhead storage compartments. Smokin' John cut these jigsaw puzzle pieces out many weeks ago, and installing them is a step closer to our finish line. John has also finalized the frame and position of our distribution board. This will house all our 12 volt and 220 volt switches for various lights and appliances.
So if you've got those covers on, the covers will have to stay off.
Ever since we moved Meraai's 500 kilo power plant into place, things have slowed down in that department. However, today I did notice that the engine fairies had been at work. When the engine was put in, we also suddenly discovered that it was very tight on each side because with the turbo that has been added. So I see now the guys have been busy with a grinding spanner, and they have done some serious grinding there. So at least now one can access the oil filters if you ever need to change them, because previously you couldn't, and there's a bit of a gap between the turbo and the main chassis as well. So all the space here is slowly getting sorted out. Still needs to be connected up though. Still don't have a drivetrain. These days in South Africa, the growl of generators is as common as a hardy-dar call. All courtesy of greedy politicians that stole from us. Us being the citizens of South Africa, and now we are paying for that privileged thievery. By now, most of you who live in South Africa who are watching this would have experienced stage 6 load shedding. For my international mates, that means we go without power 2 to 3 times a day for 2 to 3 hours at a pop. Now, where I live, we also have water issues. Our water sometimes does not flow through the pipes. To overcome that, we put up 5,000 litre water tanks. To get the water into the house, we put up pumps. Pumps need electricity, so when the power goes off 3 times a day, we can't pump our water either. So what do? We get a generator to drive the pump so we can pump the water. other words, the situation in South Africa at the moment is a perfect shitstorm. Now, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to work out what that does to our build schedule. Yeah, not peachy, eh? But we are South Africans and we take it like a man, and even steal it when necessary. And right now, steel is necessary. Lots and lots of steel. Steel that is making Bram and Markiplier Chris get excited. Since Chris has joined the team working on Meraaai, I have come to learn that this O knows his stuff. Here on the south coast in KZN, we have an issue where oaks driving behind you often want to sit in the car with you. So they drive so close, they sit right on your ass. You can actually see the fillings in the oak's teeth when you look in your rearview mirror. Well, Markiplier and Chris has come up with a plan to sort that thing out, and that is a rear bumper. This rear bumper is going to be a meneer, and anybody who gets too close may find themselves tangling with it, and I don't think they're going to want that. This is a bumper. Soon this will be home to the railway track that Chris is building. This is the kind of bumper that will make dangerous drivers think twice about driving 1 meter behind you when traveling 100 kilometers an hour. It is a tailgater destroyer. What will make it even more lethal is the huge tow hitch that will go in the middle of this formidable rear bumper. While I've been talking heavy, Smoke and John has been carrying on sealing work surfaces that will be installed inside the vehicle in the next few days or so. This specific surface is for our kitchen work area and will eventually be covered with stainless steel. In the fiberglass department, all is calm. All is way too calm. The drone of the generator is the only indication of life in this part of the workshop. I'm coming to the conclusion that working on a dashboard works in 2-day cycles. In other words, every second day something happens. Which is really not good for my levels of frustration and getting this job done. The dashboard is here. This is the mold, and there is a layer over it making our product. The product being the dashboard. So we can pull it off, and then we have a dashboard. We can put it in, and we can start to run our wiring. I haven't even got started on any of the auto electrics of this vehicle. Nothing. Those engine fairies must have overheard me, because when I next walked into the fiberglass shop, there was something going on at our dash mold. Resin man Andre was getting it on with the dash mold.
Still a bit tight. I poured water in that side now.
I learned that all that was needed was a bit of lubrication and some gentle maneuvering, and then it fell apart.
As when like it went clack, and everything just jumped up.
So this is our dashboard. What's now? What are you going to do now?
Okay, now I've got to trim it.
Okay.
Make sure everything's right.
Right.
Just go and fit it for test sizing.
Right.
Then I have to make clips and things that fit on the back.
Right.
So that now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, is how you make a dashboard from absolutely nothing. Takes a while, but that is something special. And that, my friends, is something that I am incredibly proud of, and Resin Man can be incredibly proud of. Now we need to see how this will all come together.
Where do we go now?
Okay, now I need Chris just to finish up here so I can make the space for this to fit. And then we're going to make a metal box that comes to the front of the dash.
Right.
Then your fiberglass covering that comes over the engine is then not so big and heavy.
So it's going to sit about here, eh?
Yeah, more or less.
Okay.
Okay, well, it looks like that's about it for this week, and largely due to us being pretty powerless to do anything about it, pun intended. Someone who knows all about power is a guy by the name of Vitaly Klitschko. He is the mayor of Kiev in Ukraine. Now, this oak used to be a professional boxer, and he actually fought Lennox Lewis. And he was ahead of points when they stopped the fight because of a cut over his eye. So it's quite interesting, and he is now, in a city that's busy fighting for his life. Recently, on the anniversary of that fight, Lennox Lewis sent Klitschko a message, and in that message he said he is in the biggest fight of his life, and the sacrifices he has made to serve his fellow Ukrainian citizens is not just commendable, it's admirable. So as much as Klitschko knows about fighting and winning, but losing, I feel in the same sort of boat. You know, we're going there, we're fighting the battle, we're winning it, but we're losing. This power thing is a real pain in the butt. But thanks so much for watching. Hopefully next week we'll have a bit more to show you. I really still need to get this engine train sorted out. We need power to the whole vehicle from that engine. So yeah, until next time, look after yourselves and keep safe. Remember to like us on Facebook and subscribe to our channel on YouTube. You will find us under A Dream Called Meraaai. Until next time, keep your dreams alive.